Stream. Hit up the cool new chill Metroid music. Hopefully this is cool. Let's see. Let's see if it's cool. We gotta try this stuff out. We have to experiment. There could be awesome hidden gems. You know? Okay, so this might be a quick stream. I might go for hour and a half, 2 hours. I might go for half an hour. This could be a big nothing burger. Or we could start seeing some cool stuff happening, and that's okay. Alright, so sort of continuing on where we left off, experimenting with this cool new program, new to me, is the wonderful program, wonderful new to me, not new in the world, Clip Studio Paint. Has a lot of cool features. I finally found some brushes that I like, and this is my second time using it. So let's go. I'm gonna erase this. Yeah, so here's the learning curve. Like, where's the what button corresponds to the selection area? Okay, so we don't call it the lasso tool, it's the selection area tool. Okay, but works the same. Deselect works. I'm going to reformat the image size, and I've saved a new version of this. My mind is racing with the possibilities of what I can do with a proper program that has good brushes and can do a real modern time-lapse. It's really kind of amazing. It's a shame that I have work coming later today, but that's important, so we're gonna have to be okay with that. So let me see here. So everything is in a different place. I just have to experiment with edit canvas property to change image resolution, change canvas size. I want the height to be 2000. I'm looking for that critical. No, the height needs to be 2500 and the width needs to be 2000, and that gets us to that sort of critical 4x5, 5x4. Confetti Yeti, it's been a while. Welcome. I'm doing some Metroid studies. Trying to learn a new drawing program for me. So, a lot of trial and error today. Change canvas size. Okay, so we need to trim off. Let's see here. 1,333. Oh, I don't want to cut that much. Did I just switch? So I'm not fully converted, but I'm intending to. I am intending to make the switch. If I can. And it's a long time coming, this this change. My program that I'm still using, but I need to get away from is Corel Painter, and that program is obsolete and it's not well supported. It's not supported at all. They just stopped updating it 3 years ago. This might be a little bit of a a haphazard stream, given that I need to move. Do you know do you know Clip Studio Pro? What would be the corresponding arrow tool? Is that move layer? Okay, found it. Could make that a little easier. Okay. But anyway, I'm liking this a lot. And because I have a little time before I have to start work today, I'm trying out. Mostly use Control T to move stuff. Okay. What would that... Is that like transform, but you can still move it? That's interesting. Hey, Brain, welcome. Brain, I'm trying Clip Studio Pro. No, Clip Studio Paint. I'm never ever going to get the right name on it. Confetti, I don't know if you've ever chatted with Brain, but he's an excellent artist. Excellent artist. And I don't know if I knew that you were an artist. Apparently everybody knows about Clip Studio Pro but me. Hi and bye. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think it will work in my pipeline. I'm actually going to use this on my storyboarding job today. I'm going to... And it's weird because it's like, you'd think that would like, oh, I have lots of anxiety, but I'm actually really excited about it because I feel like it's the best opportunity for me to really put it through its paces. It's not a crazy job. It's like a normal job. You'd expect normal things to happening, not chaotic. It's I wouldn't necessarily say they're a chill client, but it's a we're not reinventing the wheel. It's essentially a toy commercial. And toy commercials are very formulaic, and I enjoy doing them. So this will be a fun opportunity for me to try out the new tools, see if I can make them shine in a professional situation, not just a... So I'm already convinced that this is a great solution for my personal work and social media and stuff like that. I was able to make a cool time lapse just with what we did on this the other day. What I'm doing right now is just adding detail to this rough sketch. It looks good to me. I'm thinking, why not just add some detail and make it look a little bit more complete, still keep some of that roughness, but I like it feels like it's ready. For an added challenge, I'm going to try and not use the undo button every 3 seconds. Brain is on Instagram, and his work is criminally underfollowed and underliked and all that stuff. It's criminally so. This music is also a new selection. It is from something called Chill Metroid Music. It's a playlist I found on Spotify that is I'm digging it so far. But this may be a bit of a hi-bye stream as well. I at any minute, I could get an email from the client with stuff I need to read and go over, so... Or they could email me and they'll be like, Max, we need to push till Monday. You just never know with my work. And in a real way, I kind of use... I'm like, cool, I'll stream and that'll sort of force their hand, because there's no chance that I'll start something fun and then real life responsibilities won't come along and mess it up. My chaotic life. So I do think I like this music. The other factor, though, is will it give me shit with, like, copyright takedown and shit. So, but you never know until you start. I always generally think that, like, video game music is probably safe, especially covers of video game music, which I assume these are, but I don't know for sure. What brushes am I using on CSP? Are you using the default or custom ones? I kind of had a default one and then tweaked it. This is really early on in my CSP arc. This is I have so far I've got. I think that what I'm using is a variation on the charcoal brush. And then here's, like, the charcoal brush that I sort of think is good. And that's cool, too. I might use that to, like, whatever. We could use that to get some cool shading on the thing, right? We'll get there. If you split the audio tracks or something in OBS, you can stream music without worrying about copyright issues in VODs. The VOD will be uploaded without the music. Oh, I don't like it. I don't mind it with the music. Also, I don't mind if, like, I have an amazing stream and there's no audio and it just looks like nonsense. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I should care, but it's like, it's also sort of like, part of the, like, practice for me, like, in a, like, a Zen sort of yoga way, is that it's all just practice. Like, this is not the demonstration of expertise. Even when it is, it just sort of needs to be treated as like, okay, that was just practice. Not being super attached to the outcome of the thing, I think, is just a good mindset. Not to put it on a pedestal. Practicing today is, I know I can draw. Can I draw in Clip Studio Paint? Can I draw while I'm, you know, engaging with chat? Just finding and adding in bits of little details that help it along. Ones that I can make out, at least. I think yesterday I was talking about how some of this... I'm a little dubious how Samus's anatomy fits into this particular costume. But I found a... is it here? There's a piece of original Metroid art I guess I lost track of it, but it's I'll bring it up eventually. But it's the original sort of airbrushed hand painting version of this pose, but it was for Metroid 2, The Return of Samus for the Game Boy. And it's really good. I guess I could just Google that. Yeah, there it is. Like, this is a pretty fucking sick, trying to find just the art. Here we go. Yeah. I'll get the whole thing in there, but, okay, so here we can see, probably predating like this official game art by probably 20 years, you know? So it's like, I'm kind of doing a study of a study, right? I'm not sure what this is other than sort of like do the CG version of this, right? But interestingly, like, look how fucking good this is. And it's like, yeah, you could like fault it for a few things, I suppose, but to me, like, I really see and appreciate a lot of the decisions that went into this. And like, there's this cool, like, you can see the reflection of the landscape, right? It's imperfect, but it's really good. There's like, you know, these fun, this is like 80s, 90s, make it look like it's CG, but it's like airbrush, but it's like in an era of terrible game art, like, you gotta love like the actual good stuff. And the cool landscape too. Smoke, you know, such cool stuff. Now, obviously, yeah, they updated the look a lot over the years. But to me, like, at least, even if there's like a weird bend to the arms a little bit here, like, I still appreciate that, like, I feel like a person could fit into this suit, as opposed to here, I feel like there's just something about the separation of the joints that feels very unrealistic, but, you know, maybe there's a way. This is kind of like more like in my aesthetic, especially like the retro game art kind of stuff. Okay, back to the brush I was using. The retro game art has a certain beauty to it. To me, like, that art looked like a juicy jelly bean, like glossy candy, lip smackers, kind of lip gloss. It's sort of funny how old things become new again. My friend's daughter is obsessed with her jelly sandals. They're like, essentially, they're just like really flimsy plastic see-through sandals that you have no support, but they're sort of just coming back in a nostalgic way, but like, kids actually like them. But they're like shiny and gooey looking. That kind of materiality, that render. It's a fun vibe. Man, I love that. Yeah, so I'm pretty impressed in general with how the brushes are handling in this. Like, I feel like I get all the dynamism and it's sort of a fresh take on a brush that it feels like an evolution a little bit. There are some things it doesn't do, but I'm like, okay, I'm I'm probably not going to miss those given enough time. Feel very confident I can make the work that I do with this tool, and probably, given that this tool works, I feel like there are many possibilities opened up for other explorations as well. And it won't be futile, because Clip Studio Paint is a popular program that people use, as opposed to Painter, which it was always strange that I used it in the first place, and blah blah blah. I don't need to keep going on about it. Danny, what's up? Danny, you're gonna have to suffer through some new music. I know you like to... I know you like to hate on the music a little bit, but... but we have to try some new things if this is gonna be a little bit Metroid-y for a while. I want to see if I can find some compatible music. But welcome, and thanks for joining. We were spoiled on the amazing Zelda and Chill playlists. Like, obviously they're still there, but you know, is it sensible to always default to that? We have to try new things. I'm trying new brushes. Let's try new music. We're getting some... We're doing some painful metamorphosizing. We have to embrace the change where it makes sense. This track is cool. After a while, we'll figure out which ones are the best, and we'll consolidate and focus on those good ones. Oh, I see Confetti Yeti is following me on Instagram now. It's too much information, but I appreciate that. Thought I followed all three accounts, but oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I've got so I've been wary about posting to my my figure drawing account, for instance, and it's interesting because it's like, objectively speaking, like that's my biggest account. I never talk about it, but it's because what happened, because I sort of like grew it over the pandemic, but somehow I got all these bot followers. I don't know what happened. I certainly did not pay for bot followers, but it grew to include a lot of people that were not real people, you know, and that gave me the ick. you know? It's starting to happen now with my fan art, the Study Studio Max account. Like I guess it's like normal, but like, you know, I'm getting followed, and then I click and it's like an OnlyFans, you know, it's not even a real OnlyFans person. It's someone running a bot account, like pretending to be an OnlyFans person, right? You know, so it's not even interesting. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, for instance, on my figure drawing account, it was very common for like models to follow me and stuff like that. Like actual models, not like supermodels, but like figure drawing models. And that would happen. What did my wife think of the art? So she was so tired when she got home last night. I did not show her. I'll show her this weekend. You know, brace yourself for pain. She might be honest with you. But I'll tell her that she'll know it's not my drawings, so she'll probably be nice about it. What I will also try to do is show my kids. I think my daughter might have an interesting opinion. That, like, wouldn't that be better? You want her honesty. Well, my daughter also should give you their honest opinion. But my prediction is that they'll say they look great. I don't... I don't think we have a design problem in these characters. They are... For everybody, we're referencing Danny's personal animation project. Just make sure my email is not coming through with a... Okay, yeah, no notifications so far. We're the best to ask. That's correct. That is correct. Yeah, because your mom is always, like, you talked about your mom. Your mom is always going to tell you that everything you do is perfect no matter what, right? People don't, even if people do have an opinion about it, they don't always know what to say about that. They don't always know how to articulate what they think should be different. Something is a little off here. It's not a big deal, but the... Something like that is probably more accurate. Erase. Okay, eraser works. That's such a weird look, though. I wonder if okay, if anybody knows, is there a way to, like, take the brush that I have and then just set it to erase mode? Like, if I have this brush and I'm drawing, can I make that erase just the same brush? I wonder if there's a way. For now, I'll just... I'm not sure if you tried pressing the Alt button. I'm on a Mac, but... Oh, there is an Alt button. Properties. Isn't something I want to get bogged down in, but... There was a way I forgot. We're going to leave it be. I don't need this to be perfect. What am I saying? Of course I do. No. Maybe if I just reduce the opacity. This is Clip Studio Paint. I'm gonna move on. No worries. Just me being more attentive to tiny flaws no one notices than I should be. Okay, what does this say? Let's see here. AI overview. Ah! +10, you can set any brush in Clip Studio Paint to act as an eraser by using a simple shortcut or by adjusting its settings. The easiest method is pressing the C on the keyboard, which will switch your current brush to an eraser, and then pressing C again will revert it to its drawing function. Interesting. So press C. Okay, I'll try it. So, drawing. Ahaha! Alright. Danny, good use of the AI use case. Alright. Let's give a rare bit of applause to the AI and Danny by extension. AI saves the day. So there were it has happened in the past where I was working on an image, and then all of a sudden the client's like, "Oh, we need this to be like really high resolution." All of this, like, they didn't tell me that. They're like, "Oh, can we like get this at like 6K?" And I'm like, "6K? What are you out of your mind? It's like a 2K image, which is already bigger than I normally draw." And they wanted it at like 6K, so that like for no reason other than they're dumb. But I was like, well, I can try bringing it into Photoshop and up-resing it, see what happens. And they're like, cool. So I go in there, and they have like, the option is like AI up-res or something like that. Or it was like up-res 2.0 or something like that. But I'm like, I knew that probably, because it was like a new thing. It was in like beta. So I was like, okay, I don't know if this is like actual AI or whatever, but I used it. I just entered in the new settings to, entered in the new resolution, and it upscaled it beautifully. And I was like, and they're like, "Oh, great job, Max." And I was like, AI saved the day. Sorry. So it is one of those things where I'm like, I think it's just important to be acknowledging the honest truth about the bad. And where it is good, it can be good. It can be good. It's just sort of like at a certain point, it's like lead paint is great if you want it to last a long time and, be really bright and vibrant and give it like an amazing quality to it. But it's also really, really bad for the environment. So you have to pick and choose how and why you're making the decisions that you're making. Like, is there a harm to it? And as long as people are doing that, then I don't mind what they do or their methods. But okay, so yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Because there's something about the quality of the brush that if like you take another brush and it's not compatible, like the eraser was just too harsh, right? But now I feel like I got it looking the way I want it. Okay, so we go back to brush. Anytime I need it to be, anytime I need it to act like an eraser, we know how to do that. So that's great. And now press the button again, go back, and it just goes right back. That's awesome. It's going to be, at first I was thinking, oh, my transition to this program is going to be slow. I need to start. And now I'm just thinking, I'm like, my transition to this program is going to be fast. And it's kind of like, it's sort of a crude analogy, but like when it's one of those things where you aren't really able to tell what your last time with like a person or a thing is going to be sometimes. Like sometimes you see a friend, like an old friend that you sort of just figure like, oh, you know, I don't see him every day, but I'll see him again. But then enough time goes by and you're like, oh, I guess that was kind of the last time I'm ever going to see them, you know? If I had known, I probably would have made a bigger deal about it. But you just don't know sometimes. What I was about to say, the crude analogy that I didn't use, but I'm going to bring up again, is like, you never know, like, you don't want to be changing your kids' diapers forever, but when you're totally done with it, it's sort of like, oh, I guess I don't miss that, but in a way, you're sort of like, you know, if I had known that one time was going to be the last time, I would have made like a bigger deal about it, and in the moment, you know. I think the better analogy here, though, is like if you're in a bad relationship, you can get very, like, tunnel visioned. You'll be like, okay, you know, things aren't perfect, but it's got these good attributes or whatever. And then eventually the relationship ends. You're like, oh, I'm heartbroken or whatever. Until, of course, like, you meet the next person, you're like, oh, forget that other person. Like, that, I don't know what I ever was into that other program. Like, I don't know why I didn't make the switch sooner. Basically, I'm in that mode right now. Where I'm like, I'm about to go back to Painter and, like, have the talk, you know? Sorry, I met somebody else. Yeah, you gotta do it. And I guess, you know, if there's something this doesn't do that I need to go back to Painter for, you know, it'll theoretically be there. If I ever get tired of a program not crashing. It's like, I really miss it when Painter was crashing on me. I don't get that anymore. I like drawing on pins and needles, right? Man, feet are tough. I think I draw feet pretty darn decently, but they are not my forte. Okay, these are looking good, though. Okay, that sketch is looking pretty rad. Here, we don't need all this. It's good. I'm glad I can see these RGB sliders. This looks good, you know? We all know I love these. Cool start. I mean, like, this looks good. I'm gonna try and mess with something. What about... like, do they have tools like, I mean, can I search? Can I search for, kind of interested, seeing if I can find a tool that does, like, dodge and burn. Does anybody know? Do I switch to a new program so you can time-lapse? Kind of. Painter didn't do good time lapses, like, at all. It crashed all the time, or, you know, way too much. And it wasn't being updated. So, like, if, like, you have to imagine, like, I want to be able to like update hardware and software on my system without being anxious that like I'm marching ever farther away from the original software and hardware that the program was designed to support. It'll be a problem eventually. Even if it's not now, it'll be a problem eventually. I have to be smart about like, hey, just, you know, just things are okay right now. You know, whatever. But yeah, this is looking good. Here, let me do a little bit of my hacky hacks. Oops, that's not the right brush. Okay. Yeah. If anybody is interested, so this also, this allows me to like share brushes. I can't share, like Painter brushes are not compatible with Procreate or with Clip Studio Pro. They're not compatible with Photoshop. It's like unshareable. You know, it's like I'm trying to be an educator, like, and I can't even share some of the stuff that I was using. With this, like, I can. I don't know if I want to, but, you know, if someone was like, hey, I want that brush, I'm like, well, at least I can give it to you. I don't know if I will, but, you know. But it's like, this at least opens the possibility that if I was like, oh, Max makes such great art, I wonder if he sells a brush pack. It's like, you know, I'd hesitate to monetize things, but it's also, at least it opens that possibility. Yeah, this track is cool. Sweet iconic tunes. Right now I'm trying to see if I can simulate a little bit of the lighting that I'm seeing here. You use Photoshop? That's all good. The Clip Studio Paint brushes may be compatible with Photoshop. I'm not there yet where I can say one way or another if they are or aren't, but if they aren't now, they might be someday. You know what's funny is I found some really, really good brushes in Adobe Fresco, which is like an iPad app. And I was like, awesome, I'm gonna port these over to Photoshop and that'll solve all my problems. And I looked into it, and despite being an Adobe program, the brushes are not compatible from Adobe Fresco to Adobe Photoshop. It's a completely different brush engine, which is, and I'm not the only person sort of looking into this and complaining about it, but it sort of underscores that Photoshop, despite being industry standard, is not the best brush engine. They saw fit to acknowledge that and leave it behind when they were trying out their other iPad app. I don't know if I think I'm overshading the head a little bit. Let's go back. It's sort of interesting. I don't know how many like undos are in this program. Lots to sort out, lots to figure out. That's cool looking. With this brush, not every stroke that I do looks exactly as I intended, but sometimes there's just some fun, happy accidents that happen. And I'm like, hey, that's not what I intended, but still looks good. And that's that sort of secret factor that I really needed to have. So the fact that I can get that out of this program is just, love it. That's cool. I'll say I'm proud of the bows that you added. Yeah. Are you saying that this looks like the same style? I agree. That's why I'm happy with how things are going so far. It's just, it still feels like me, even though it's a new program and a new brush. It's like my approach is not compromised. Like if I pick up a new program and new brushes and my art starts looking like the same as everybody else's or something, it's that's a problem. My ego will not stand for that. Okay, despite the top of the head looking rough, I am pretty happy with how this is going so far. It's kind of radical. All right, right now I want to see, all right, Danny, you have the AI at your fingertips. Is there a dodge and burn tool in Clip Studio Paint? Dodge and burn. I refuse to touch the AI, but if other people get their hands dirty, it's not a big deal. I'm attempting to feed myself peanuts. You heard I like butts? I do like butts. How'd Cammy turn out? I haven't done Cammy yet. I want to. She's sort of next on the docket, but the I'm on a side quest to learn this new program, and because I know that there will be some qualitative differences, like in the texture of the drawing. You meant Chun-Li. Chun-Li, look here. I'll show you. I posted it to my socials, which are up here, but it's not a prerequisite. Oop. Let's see here, Street Fighter 2. Oh, come on, where did I put that? This is embarrassing because it's like, I guess I have to... This is how, you know, I have, like, ADD. It's like, I can't even find my own artwork on my own computer. We'll just go to Instagram. Here's my... Hopefully I don't accidentally dox myself here. So it looks like this. So these were the finish. It was well received. So, you know, and it's like... one thing I know is that, like... Well... Hold on to your hats, everybody. I'm gonna shock you with some truth bomb. There are gooners on Reddit, okay? The goonification of Reddit continues, and I kind of felt like I was like, okay, I'm doing some fan art. I can post this on the Street Fighter. Yes, there's gooners. Gooners. Yeah. They goon. But I mean, this isn't like qualitatively like not safe for work necessarily, but you know, there are obvious associations with like Chun-Li and Cammy, for instance. Nonetheless, I know that there'd be receptive audiences. However, you know, I had been posting Zelda art to the Zelda Reddit, and I think some of the mods there didn't like me because some of it would not be well received, and I would, well, it'd be well received, but it would get throttled. Like, it just wouldn't get views. It would always get upvotes, but not views, you know? I was like, that's interesting. But this was my first, I was brave, despite the Zelda Reddit not treating me nicely. I had to treat me okay, but like, I don't think the mods liked me. But I was brave, and I posted this to the Street Fighter Reddit. And it was well received, and I was happy about that. It got like 600 upvotes or something like that. Lots of compliments. I think 99% upvote. Like, I'm happy about that, you know. But yeah, this turned out good. So today I may have to be working at some point. All right, so Street Fighter 2 announces summer beach outfits. They're adding to the game. Holy shit, it's Goontown. So now that I'm a member of the Street Fighter subreddit, I'm aware of these things. So this theoretically could be an avenue for more fan art content. We'll see. But I try not to pander, obviously, like to the goon, the almighty goon. But part of my mission as an artist is to give the people what they want. So, you know what's funny is, like, ironically, like Zangief, like, if you put him in a beach outfit, he might actually wear more clothes than he does in his normal costume. Hard to imagine Cammy wearing less than her unitard or whatever. Okay, so I need to look here. On the layers box, there is a box that says normal change, that unless you mean something else or another burn or dodge thing. Not the layer blend mode. It's sort of like a dodge and burn being a little bit of a special effect. Airbrush, droplet, and then color spray. Let me just look it up. I can Google. Okay, dodge and burn CSP. Dodge and burn brush. Okay. Clip Studio Pro doesn't have dedicated dodge and burn tools like Photoshop. The same results can be created by leveraging its layer and brush settings. Okay, so I can make the brush. Yeah. Okay, I'll look into that later. Good to know. Okay, we can set aside this. Okay, Command T is a very good move tool, so that's good. Confetti and Danny and everybody, I appreciate the the helpful little tutorials helping me through this. Okay, just for completeness' sake, and since we apparently have time, I'm going to do a little sketcheroo of this one, too. This all constitutes a nice little warm-up for work that may have to happen soon. Okay, new layer. Wait. What is that? New vector layer. I don't need that. I don't need vector layers. I need normal layer. Cool. Here, I think we should actually take a second. New Street Fighter 6 fighter. Oh, they're also doing a Street Fighter movie, is something I hear. I don't know if, I saw they are casting 50 Cent as, like, Balrog, I think, and, like, whatever, cool, but also, isn't that guy, like, 50 years old? Like, I don't like casting celebrities because they're celebrities. Or they're, like, bankable. I like people being right for a film, right? Street Fighter 6 swimsuits. Let's see what this gets us. Sort of funny. We appreciate all art, and especially human drawn art, but I will happily give my own God, they gave her like a one-piece hat and some tan lines. That's fun. This is Cammy, of course. Okay. I thought Cammy was covered in scars. What's happened here? We're going scar-free. Super important to have the tactical belt on top of everything else. This is begging for my take. Needs my take, so we're gonna have to do that on upcoming stream. Before true saturation sets in and people become numb to seeing endless fan art of swimsuit Cammy. Okay. Start new sketch time. I kind of actually like the idea of... Let me move this. Merge selected layers. All right, good. All the good tools are here. Everything I need is here. This may be something we get to later like much later down the road, but I've heard other artists who are storyboard artists talk about using there's like layout functions or something. People use this for comics to like put together pages of stuff. I want to look into that eventually. Guys, maybe I'll do a comic. This could be like a new cool thing. Sky's the limit. Okay, so I have this same reference is up here for me also, so I can sort of reference that. Because I like to use vertical references if I can. And let's brush it up. Start fairly light. This one feels like it could... I might not... Sometimes I've tried to faithfully copy, and sometimes I tweak a little and make changes where I see opportunities to improve, and I might allow for that. We'll see. Adjusting the head here feels right. Yeah, something about the anatomy here just feels really bent. It's struggling a little bit. Okay, I think this can work. It just needs to be clearer. Oh, poop. Okay, well, we know how to fix that. Click here, hit the C button, and we can erase. And it will still look like we used the same brush, and that'll be lovely. I'm going to turn these other guys to low opacity, if I can. If I can figure out how to do that. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that works. Great. That'll give me a little bit more latitude to draw this in like more of a full figure. Not the whole figure, but I like all that attitude. Want to clear the angle and orientation of these limbs, because that's something that isn't clear in the reference image, is whether or not the forearm in the reference image looks like it's just sort of bending, and I want it to be clearly coming towards us, changing trajectory at the joint, and then clearly moving away from us. This is a big arm cannon. And that's interesting. Like, it looks like that whole arm is... in a different proportion. It's not like it's super dramatic, but I'm just having a hard time seeing... like, this part of the arm feels lower than it would be. I don't know. I could be wrong, but... sometimes when you do a study, you learn what the artist did right, but you can also learn what was a little bit fudged. And people, you know, can make artistic decisions for all sorts of reasons. And often, I'm inclined to always be charitable and just being like, yeah, an executive probably told them to do something that they knew better, but if it comes between that and a paycheck, like, you got to do what you got to do, right? What I do like about this, like, sort of sequence of studies is they're all designs from different eras. So you see this sort of progression. And it sort of underscores, like, the same thing with, like, Chun-Li and Link and Zelda and all these characters. Like, unlike Mario, which basically is the same as it was 25 years ago or even further back, the, you know, video game IPs and characters, they evolve. There's no truly... these are iconic characters, but they get reinvented, right? If I feel like making a change, I can do that. You know, I don't have a paycheck on the line. I can do what I want. I'm going to have half an eye on my email inbox, because I really do expect to... the client said they would email me eventually. Theoretically, we have a meeting at 1 p.m. A meeting at 1 p.m. that I have not been brief. I don't have an official invite yet. I don't know anything about the product. And there was a time, years ago, when this sort of thing would have me tied up with anxiety because I didn't have anything better to do than just wait around. But now I have this, and it's such a great distraction. I don't have to feel like... I don't know. It's something I enjoy. That sustains me in a way that the work didn't, but I wanted it to. But it didn't. This is interesting. What's the geometry of this glass? That feels right. It's the geometry of his helmet. Making decisions as we go. Some of this stuff I don't like. I don't like these interesting sort of metallic bands that are wrapping around. I don't get what that is. To me, it feels like a dated aesthetic. I think it would be cool if I came up with my own Samus design. That could potentially be awesome. I think I have some ideas of what I would do differently. Avail, hey. I'm doing some Metroid stuff. Because do you use Clip Studio Paint? Because this is like my second time using it. It's so far I'm loving it. You do? Okay, great. Well, I might, you know, if I get lost, I might pick your brain about how to do stuff. But apparently, everybody in the audience seems to know about it too. I've been like a diehard painter guy for like 20 years, and I'm just ready to be done. I'm ready to jump. It's so fun, but I still don't know where most things are. Okay, yeah. Part of me doing this right now is sort of like I want to get a little more familiar before I theoretically start a job. I theoretically am gonna start a job today, like at 1, but so in like an hour 15 minutes, but it's like a small job, so I think it's like a good opportunity for me to try and use this program for storyboarding. But I found a brush. I think it's one of the default brushes, but I just tweaked it a bit, but it seems to more or less approximate some of the dynamics that I'm used to in Painter. And I'm like, great, that's all it needs to do. It just needs to do that and not crash and be supported in order for me to make the jump, and this is it. A lot of fun brushes, yeah. It feels like it has the vibe. I like the interface is pretty simple without trying to be like, oh, we're a Procreate clone. Like, obviously this came out before Procreate. Although it used to be like Manga Studio Pro or stuff like that. It goes through all these iterations, but I know it's the same publisher or developer or whatever. getting a little bogged down. So I'm using this image. Obviously, it's I'm not that far along with it yet, but the image to the right is the reference, and I'm tweaking it just a little bit. I like to do that. Okay, and here I can apply a little bit of what I try to do, which is, like, if we have a clear... Here we can see there's an angle here in this... in the shoulders. So then I like to have my hips offset the opposite way. If that makes sense. And here I see, like, I don't see this, what they have here is not working. Like, it is working. It's just, can I? Given it's my modus operandi to always do that kind of action with the posing when I can, let's see if I can graph that onto here and see what happens. So I just feel like the poses look more dynamic that way. Whereas this is sort of neutral. It's sort of like it's a... The image isn't flat, but the posing is just sort of... Even though it's trying to be dynamic, it is a little bit straightforward. So if this hip is higher, what does that mean? Generally, it means that the hip is carrying more weight. Could be crouched. See what that looks like. Oop. Not all bad. Try and make that work. I don't have a reference for her feet in this image, which is fun. Don't love. Yeah, the sort of like electrical tape banding look they've put over the forms isn't that interesting to me. Let's move forward with it. I just think it's a... At this point, if I'm changing this much stuff, it sort of stops being a study and sort of becoming my own take on something, which is fine. It's great, but I want to be conscious, if I can, about what departures I'm making and why. Yeah. I don't know what era this costume is from. It's probably like Metroid Prime or something. So it looks like it's like of the new era. Up here, I got a little client notification. I'm gonna have to take a look at that in a second. But we knew it was coming. Okay, the meeting's going to be at 1. That's good. We'll keep going a little bit longer on this. So I have an idea. It won't be in this drawing, but I see it now. I'll draw it out in a second. Or maybe I'll do it off stream. No, I'll just do it now. Let me get a little more detail on these guys. And then I'll draw it. So I've been trying to think of an idea for the... Like, I want to do like a piece that isn't a study, right? It's like... Because I'm like that. I want to do a study, and then I'm like, here's my concept art take. And I've been a fan, because so here's an interesting thing. Truth be told, I've never really played much Metroid. I have played it enough to be like, oh wow, this game is hard, and I'll like, this game makes Zelda look easy, so oh god, yeah, these this outfit is kind of a mess. When I say, like, the armor design on this is a mess, it's just me sort of noting to myself that I'm like, yeah, the human body wouldn't accommodate the stretching, and it just doesn't look like it has the give and the materials to support the anatomy underneath and, like, the flexibility required. And of course, it's like a video game. It's like whatever, but... to a certain degree, I'm like a form needs to follow function guy, and like if something looks cool but you can't do the things you need to do when it's on, like that's bad design, right? In the video game, they're not encumbered by the trappings of material reality, so it doesn't matter. But when you adapt stuff for a movie, for instance, let's say they did like a Metroid movie and it's like a person in a suit. Ideally speaking, it would be a person in a suit. Otherwise, you're just going to have a big CG fest, like with all the other things that everybody hates. It's like we sort of repudiate that stuff now. Overexposed. Too many Marvel movies. I don't know what these... don't know what the feet necessarily look like or are designed as, but I'm going to sort of use these as approximations. Guessing. I have no reference for what this actually looks like on top of her thigh. Let's see, how do you flop this? Flip, rotate canvas. Flip horizontal. Okay, that's not bad, but it's not great here. Erase all that. Let's get a little bit more angle there. Limbs clearly coming forward towards camera. You know, let's turn Samus into a thigh goddess. Borrowing from everything we learned from Chun-Li. It's what the people want. Cool. Okay, so that's kind of a cool pose. A little overstated, probably with the thigh, but I kind of like that. We don't need the spidery versions of our heroes. We can do a smaller feet, though. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. I'll flip it back the other way. We'll see how far we get. Okay, that still looks cool. Yeah, I think if anything, I just want to be a little bit more... Can I be more delicate with her feet? So much better when you put in those. I keep hitting the wrong button. The shortcut in Painter is a very distinctly different shortcut. I think ultimately where I'll tweak this, it's going to be sort of like making the forms of the armor more analogous to the forms of the muscles. Since they're going to have to fit in there anyway. I mean, I think I goofed a little. I think I made their whole lower half too big. Let's tweak that a little bit. Feels like easier, better idea with the proportions at least. Cool. Add more details into this. Some of the designs aside, yeah. Like, it's not like I don't appreciate some parts of this design. But some parts are just clearly not working for me, so... let's set those aside. I think at one point she had big old things like on the side of her hips. I like that too, but we don't need to have those here, I guess. All right. I'm just going to do a little mindless detail adding. Clarifying little bits. So I know we talked earlier about an idea for a new composition. And I feel like in this I can see the germ of it. And given that I've invented the legs out of whole cloth, I don't mind sort of doing that. What it'll be, let's do a quick save. And then maybe we just save a new version. Okay, save a duplicate. Okay. So instead of just holding onto her gun, I don't know what that does either. The Metroid story, where we've sort of seen story. Pick this up in my research, because like I didn't really play the games. But in Metroid 2, you end by saving a little baby Metroid And then in Super Metroid, the little baby Metroid grows up, and then spoiler alert, it saves your ass at the end of the game. Which is like, as far as like video games go, like that's a pretty cool story. You know, I love that. So, of course, what do those damn Metroids look like? I don't know if I could tell you just off the top of my head. But I feel like I kind of remember. They're like a little jellyfish, you know. Needs to be smaller. Needs to basically be pretty delicate. Right? And they're basically boogers. Floating boogers with hair. But cute. Right? There is a fun theme of like a kind of maternal instinct, right? I don't know if that's cheesy, but like Samus, like these things are sort of like made out to be the enemy initially in the game, right? Aren't they the bad guys? But then you decide not to kill, you know, like an innocent baby, and then saves your ass down the road, right? What if this leg was further up? Yeah, I think I'd like that better. Fix that too. So it feels like the baby Metroid is being cradled and protected. For all my talk about making the post more dynamic, I really have done a bad job of sticking to that, because what I'm essentially doing is leveling out all the dynamics again, because we're going from like a dynamic sort of theme to something that is much more still. It's like a tender moment. Okay. Sort of being decisive about something here. Orienting the shoulder so that the humerus is pointed back in space, and then the forearm is... There's room for the forearm to come forward without it being like way out here. It can be kind of close. This arm clearly coming forward in space. All right. And then this going back and then coming forward. A lot of when things look off in posing and stuff, it's because there weren't clear decisions made about what an arm is doing. Is it coming towards us, or is it going away from us? And when you don't make a clear decision, what ends up happening is your mind just sort of draws it flat. Draws it the easy way, where you can't make a decision, which essentially just means no decision is made, and you straddle. And the straddle is kind of not... It's suboptimal. It's sort of just better to make a clear decision, because that's what ends up informing all the other decisions that get made. If one arm is going back, then the other arm goes forward. If one arm is going forward, then the other arm goes back. If it doesn't, then you know you're still making a decision. Either way. Some of these tracks are pretty awesome. I know I said as much, but my meeting is at 1, so that's in half an hour. So I'm going to go another 5 or 10 minutes and then call it a stream. This was still a lot of fun to experiment with some of this stuff. This is to... It's interesting. Part of my instincts are like the design of the thing be damned. I want to make sure the composition is feeling right. Need more openness in her heart. I don't want there to be like this giant hulking mass. Find some gentleness. This limb might be too long. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah. I think, like, as a composition, if I throw in... This is just spitballing now. It's really only have, like... I can give myself 5 minutes. 5 minutes max. Let's imagine a little bit of context. So we've got, like, an alien landscape, right? Can feel a little bit, because I've sort of, not deliberately necessarily, but the camera is basically, the way it's set up here, the camera is low. Low to the scene, and the subject is very sort of like still and calm right now. Right? So we can make it look like the camera is sort of peeking out from behind a couple of rocks in the foreground. There can be other bits of texture as well. It's an alien planet, after all. Sort of at once claustrophobic and comforting. Let's do some fun. Like it's like the light is coming from the Metroid. Right? There's like light coming from the Metroid. And we could even... Could totally even have light... Like if it was backlit, sort of a feeling like there's a shaft of light. So we have this sort of like Holy Mother moment, right? It's kind of radical. The really sell the importance of a moment, right? And you can... little floating blobs in the air. It's magical. Oh, it's set to some blend modes or something, so it's... I'm not drawing with pure white, unfortunately, but... awkward, but... that layer sucks, but... let's mess around with this. Cool. I think this looks cool. Oh, fuck it, we still have some time. Can't be sure. It feels like I might have lost the chat, but it's all good. We're, we don't need to make everything super important. Maybe a different brush. Paintbrush? Paint and apply. Yeah, that'll work. Set this to multiply. Cool. And then we're just gonna sort of paint into the negative space. Oop. What did that do? How do I change the size? Must be this. Yeah, okay, so that's okay. It's all about the silhouette. It's not my smoothest arrival at a decent rough composition, but when you... I think being transparent about the process, it's like... You know, we hit some snags, and then sort of pulled out the... It's like... You know, the tools we have them for a reason. It's to get us out of these, like, little places where we get stuck, right? It's not smooth sailing. Oops. All the way every time you do something. You do run into shit. Like, oh, that design doesn't work for this pose. But we need this pose, so fix the design. Metroid has, you know, a trillion action poses, right? No. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe there's an audience out there for, you know, a little bit of a tender moment. We'll find out anyway. Okay, so this is good, except now it's a little cut out. But we can, if I'm not wrong, we can lock off the pixels. Can we do that? Yeah. Lock transparent pixels. So that should mean that I can paint into the opacity here with like an airbrush or something. And lighten. Sufficiently big. Yeah. And then it should also be possible to select the... So if we select selection from layer, does that work? Okay, and then we invert this, and that'll give us the positive space. Invert selected area. Can I hide that? I prefer not to see the marching marquee like that. If I can make that invisible, I'd love to, but if there's not a way, it's okay. Do a little airbrush into this. Is that not gonna work? Oh, because I have it. Let's try this now. Yep, cool. Set this to multiply. It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's getting... I feel like when it is done, it will have... You know, it almost passes the squint tests. Okay. I'm gonna have to call it a day. But, you know, it's cool. We got something to show for it. How do I full screen this? It's looking... Look... I think it is, yeah. Let's see here. Fit to screen? Well, there's got to be a better way to make it big. Come on. Come on. Print size? No. Oh gosh. I don't know how to do it right now. We'll figure that out another time. Yeah. So I can reset that to where it needs to be. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think it's worth seeing if I can... You know, I bet if I have another 3-hour stretch, I can tighten it up and make it look scroll-stoppingly good. So that'll be cool. All right, so got my meeting in 10. I got a dash. This was fun to do studies and sketch this out and sort of work through the bugs, and you know, still more to come. But it'll be good. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. And yeah, the Clip Studio Pro. Clip Studio Paint. I'll say it wrong every time. But good little program. Glad we're diving into it. So it's good stuff. Okay. Everybody popped in to say hi, and you know, have a great day. Get along with your lives well this weekend. You know, have a wonderful time. I probably won't be streaming until I don't know. Let's stream when I can. All right. Catch you next time. Adios.